The first assignment I ever gave when I came to Evergreen and started teaching there, the first assignment was for my students, taking evolution, all of them for the first time, was to explain what an apology was. I wanted them to drill down and figure out if they could understand what an apology was. And I said to them, an apology is a mystery because it has tremendous effect on the way people think about stuff that has happened to them, right? Why should it? An apology consists of one individual vibrating the air molecules between them and another individual, and then a little membrane in your head wobbles in proportion, and you deduce some meaning that's coming. But if you've been harmed by somebody, why would a wobbling of membranes in your head in any way serve to compensate you such that it would change your sense about whether or not the thing was okay or not, right? So anyway, it's a tough assignment. Try it.
That's all?
Well,
you're stopping there.
Let's put it this way. For those of you who are ready to hear what I think the right analysis is, an apology is evidence of a debt. In other words, if I have harmed you and I don't acknowledge it, then the debt is in dispute. But if I have harmed you and I say, you know what? I harmed you. Let me tell you how much I harmed you. And what you hear says, actually, you do understand how much you harmed me. Then you've got two things. One, you've got a debt that you can call in, and we know the magnitude of it. And two, you have my explicit description of what I did wrong. So if I do the same thing wrong again, the crime is much bigger because what I've done is I've said, here's what I understand about that crime. And to do it again would mean I was conscious of the fact that I was doing it, which is a very different crime. It's a premeditated crime. Yep. So anyway, my point is we need to engage in a discussion, a national discussion in which the various things in our history that are not comfortable and not honorable and not defensible are placed in proper context, and we agree on what they are, and we agree on what's wrong with them. And by doing that, we can actually all move on, all of us, right? And that doesn't mean that there's no reckoning of any other kind to happen. As I've said before, I am really not a fan of monetary reparations because I think we can predict exactly why that policy would be a disaster. But the idea of investments in communities that are still suffering the echoes of Jim Crow and other things seems a very good idea. So anyway, at some level, informally, that's the proposal, that a truth and reconciliation approach to the ugliest parts of our history is important. Even, I feel like I have taken on American culture. I'm born of immigrants, as you are. So
You're not the children of immigrants.
Not immediately, but I'm descended from immigrants. My ancestors weren't here when there was slavery. Right. And so, in some sense, why am I even talking about it? Well, because I have taken on American culture. So in some sense, it's been imported into my software, the downstream effects of that.